do you like the people you're working with and things like that?
What?
Mm, are the people who work with you in the office, are they kind to you? Are they nice? Are they nice
Yeah, yeah,
people?
right, right,
Ah,
right. Yes.
good, good. That is good. Well, that's important. That's that's positive. So at least it's kind of a nice place to work and So can you tell me, do you work, during the day? Do you work all night? What generally I'm guessing you work very early in the morning because you got up so early today, but I mean, do you work early in the morning usually in the hospital?
Yeah, yes. I work from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
in the weekdays.
and guys, that might seem like a lot of hours to you at home, but in Turkey, my students have told me that in Turkey, people work a lot of hours. It's a long day in Turkey. Yes, that's
I work in the for the government hospital, public hospital.
okay.
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 I just work daylight. When I go to university, I had to work and study together at the same time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mhm. So, and the time I worked day shift, sorry, night shift.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it's long time, long period. Sometimes 24 hours, and
Mm-hmm.
sometimes 16 hours. I had to work.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, people in Turkey work ridiculously long hours, especially in today's situation. People are working ridiculously long hours. That is really really interesting for the listeners around the world. I think they'll be really fascinated to hear this episode. I think, and okay, well, on the weekends, apart from participating in podcasts like this one, I would have to wonder, how did you ever find the time to get into YouTube yourself? Because you are a YouTuber, right?
Yeah, yes.
So, how did you get into YouTube and talk more about your channel? By the way, we're halfway done, 15 minutes. So, talk some about your channel and what you do there, and then I'll ask you more questions about travel. So, try that. Hmm.
Okay. I have a YouTube channel because I told you it's one of my dream traveling.
And by the way, right here. So click the link in the description for more information. So you don't need to say what it's called. I'll put it in the description. Okay, so after they click the link for in the description, what will they find on your channel? How would you describe your content?
Okay. My channel names is Ayşe Seyiz. It's about the traveling, and I want to share my experience with the people, how I did, what I lived. Okay. I want to show the people that because I don't look like I have problems with my eyes. I had really serious problems, but I didn't look like that. So I want to share the people with that because I want to change uh, people thinkings. Okay, people
Society,
thought.
I so Aisha would like to change society's perception of blind people, right? Uh-huh.
Yeah, yeah, right. Because I realized that blind people lived many problems. Okay, I didn't meet the blind people until um, 2006. Okay, and I met a girl, and she told me she didn't have any friends in her neighborhood. Okay, so I surprised because I had many friends, and really I didn't have any problems like them because I always find a way to play with them. Okay, I didn't think I had a problem. Yeah, even
Sure.
though I had
Exact.
a problem.
Exactly. So, when I think it's safe to say that when you were growing up, you just went about your business when you were like a little girl growing up in Turkey. You didn't think, you didn't, concern yourself
Yeah.
with right, because guys, and this is a really important point that I am glad that Aisha brought this up. When you're a little kid, you don't worry about having a disability. You don't worry about being blind. You barely even notice, when you're a little kid, you barely notice what country you're in or the days of the week. You're in a little blind kid is just as much in a fog as any other little kid. You know, nobody when you're that much of a little kid, like nobody notices and you don't really notice. You only notice until when did you start to notice that there was a problem? And if you need help expressing it, I can give you some English to help you. But when did you notice that there was this issue with being blind, and when did you start to notice a difference?
Um, Actually, I was always sometimes thinking about that, but I didn't care that. Okay, when I started school, I couldn't see the writing on the board, and I just once I thought about that, and after that, I cannot see it. It's impossible. And I look at my friend's notebook, and I see that on the writing. Okay, and I didn't tell to anyone. Okay, and I read to my friend's notebook writing. Okay, from there. Um, I think the doctor came to school when I was second class in the primary school, and they understand that I had a problem, so they took me to the hospital. And when I was third class in the primary school, they understand I had a really big problems with my eyes, so I should go to special school. But my school manager didn't accept that. So even though the doctor told that I had really serious problems, I should go to special school, they didn't accept it, and we realized that when I was third class. But
Right.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's too late, I think.
Right. So maybe how old were you when you had this, experience of going to the hospital in Turkey and the doctor telling you that you're blind? How old were you? Do you remember? Were you maybe 8 year? It sounds like you were maybe
Eight,
8 years old
eight,
or
yeah, yes, eight.
8 years old, right? And just to put it in perspective, how old are you now? By the way, I am 29 years old. How old are you?
I am 39 years old.
Oh, okay, that is fine. Okay, I forgot if you were, I forgot your age. Yeah, so you're 39. Okay, right. You're 39 years old. Okay, so
Yeah.
yeah, so well, you're 10 years older. So you were going through this around the upper 80s. It was like 1989, 1990-ish would be when you started to, notice these things, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
right.
yeah, right, right. Okay. All right. So back to your channel about traveling. So I've done a lot of traveling. Where have you traveled to overseas, and what types of experiences have you had? I'm sure we'll expand on this in part two, but what experiences have you had traveling overseas?
Um, um, okay. I went just Czechia and Ukraine,
Did you go to the
Thailand.
Czech Republic?
Yeah, yes, Czech Republic.
Okay.
I joined a camp there um, for handicapped people.
Hmm.
Okay. Yeah, for 2 weeks. I joined that, and I learned many things from them. And they are very live. Okay. They had very big problems, so I thought blindness is not a problem when I saw them. um, yeah, and you must continue what you like, I understand after that. As and I learned really many things from them. And I went to Ukraine with two people, one of them from Japan and one of them from Greece. I met with them in Izmir. Okay, so they invite me their holiday. So we went there together, and I understand that sometimes I afraid of traveling alone, but I noticed that just we think like that. Okay, it is not real, and really I like these places very much. And I went to Thailand and South Korea. I like them very much actually. I don't know what I should tell. If you help me,
How
what you
about
want to know.
sure, sure. Yeah, yeah, well that is really all really interesting. Maybe mm, can you talk about something funny that happened, something humorous that happened while traveling? A lot of funny stuff has happened to me while traveling, but can you talk about something humorous that happened to you for some comedy? Maybe something comical that happened while you were traveling? Hmm.
Hmm. Oh, actually, not comedy, but I always surprise and I like traveling. Okay.
Hmm.
Um, when I went to South Korea, I my friend took me a shopping center. Okay, and I saw a big library, very big, and I was very surprised, and I am sure I look so funny because I never seen like that places. Okay, it's very nice for me because I like reading. You could take a book there; it's free, and you can sit there and you can read the books. And I like that very much, actually. And
That's cool. So you were able to make a connection between the library in Korea and the library in Turkey, right? Do
yeah,
you have in Turkey, this sounds like a silly question, silly thing to say. Not every country has libraries. It's an Americanized concept. So, do you have a library system in Turkey?
yeah, yes, we have a library system in Turkey, but we didn't any library in the shopping center. Yeah.
And that's why, see, so that is very ironic humor. So you have them in Turkey, but well, maybe you need to file a complaint then. Maybe you need to send in a complaint or something that they need to build a library just for you in a shopping center to remind you. And
Yeah, yes, we go to just do shopping from the
mm,
shopping center, but they
I
go
see.
there to eat also.
Mm-hmm. So it's a library that happens to be inside of a shopping center.
Yeah,
Hmm. And that is really
imagine.
that's a cool one. That's an interesting one. Okay, well, so what are so when you travel, do you travel with groups? Do you do organized tours? You know, how do you? I would wonder, how do you travel?
Actually, it depends
Right.
because sometimes I go alone. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
uh, just once I go by on tour. Okay, Black Sea area in Turkey. Um, that's all. But others with my friends. No, sometimes I go alone
Mm-hmm.
because I cannot find a friend coming with me sometimes. So I go alone sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I understand. I travel with oftentimes I've done a lot of traveling in the past. Before we got into this whole situation today, I've done a lot of traveling with a British company. I would be more than happy to tell you about it off the air.